What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. What's today? Whew, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Child, November has been one hell of a helly, at least the last part of November. Y'all know I've been sick. Well, I'm feeling better. So that part is good because, being sick is not fun. And I guess we all know that. So after that, Thanksgiving came around, child. We've been hustling and bustling, trying to figure out how we were gonna, get this thing done. And every year it's a success. People sat down, they ate the food, and yeah, they got stuffed and things. So, we eat our Thanksgiving. What day? Thursday, Friday. By Saturday, we don't want any more of that. And that's what we did around here Sunday, which I'm normally here, ready to love is my Sunday thing at 7 o'clock. Don't worry, God willing, everything will be back to normal next week. But this Sunday, I was at the hospital because my daughter went into labor. So, yeah, my granddaughter arrived November 30th. She's a Sagittarius. And yeah, that's where I've been. So yesterday, of course, since Mama was at the hospital having a baby, I had to be here with other baby, grandson. We got some Irish twins around here, so I'm ready to see how this is gonna play out. Cause Granny is here for fun. I'm not here for work, so we gonna watch Mama work, and I'll be here for fun. Now that I've updated y'all on what's been going on in my life, I missed y'all. I've been ready to talk about this past episode this week, Ready to Love. It's season 11. It's episode 4. Y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into the things over here, Ready to Love, with these people out here in the D, over in Detroit, going on a bunch of dates and things with these, singles, because that's what it's all about. This week, the ladies are in control, so they get to go over there and visit Tommy's Speakeasy. That's what he's got for the people this week. And they said it's nice. Detroit, you ladies look lovely over there in the ladies' lounge. Sometimes it be challenging. I'm going to say last ladies' lounge that was always fire to me was Dallas, both Dallas season. I think Dallas and Fort Worth has some. There was a couple of doozies in there. I'm not gonna mention no names. For the most part, the ladies looked lovely. I was always looking forward to what they were gonna have on in the ladies' lounge. Philly, it was challenging, and so I'm gonna leave it there. Hey y'all, Detroit, y'all got it. Everybody looks lovely in the ladies' lounge. This week's challenge is, you're supposed to take these guys over to your favorite places over here in Detroit. And Tommy's instructions was for these ladies to make sure their house is clean. Really, Tommy? The nerve. The nerve. Anybody said that they were bringing people to their house? I don't know that that was the plan. Not for everyone, anyway. For Dominique, it was. So Dominique invited the people over to her crib. Ooh, hey, Bello. That's how she answered the door with Bello. People came in Dominique's home. I'm guessing that's her house. It's very lovely. I don't know, like all them stairs, girl. I couldn't do all them stairs on a regular basis. Over here, I would be preferring a ranch style home, so I can just walk from one side to another. I don't miss all them stairs. When I lived up north, you got it upstairs, you got the basement. It's a lot of stairs going on over there in Michigan. I don't want no stairs. Keep your thighs and things together. Is that how you keep it all together, Dominique? Going up and down the stairs. Anyway, the people came over. Dominique, blessed the people with food made with her very own hands. I think that's very nice. Like, it's easy to take somebody out to dinner or whatever, but she fed all these people like she was in this kitchen, preparing love. Food is, the people said it was good. So if it was good, then there was probably love involved. You know what I'm saying? Because for people, I know for me, if I'm not, my heart ain't in it, the food don't just taste so good. So the people, Dominique, the people said you did a great job over there. Even the chef. Now, when the chef comes over and tells you your food is good, chances are you did the damn thing. So who came over there? It was Christina, Ina, Devon, Chris, and Bello. And um, yeah, Bello came in. It was almost like they were having a dinner party. Y'all talked about Darius for week 1 and week 2. I don't know how Bello slid. Maybe they didn't have him so much in the forefront, but Darius caught a lot of heat for that spray on. You know what I'm saying? Bello over here, young man, just go bald. Just be bald. You have a spray on the front side. You know, if your barber, I'm gonna call him out since he want to be over here spraying hair lines on and things. You're gonna need to work on your shading a little better. You can't spray on the front of the head and not the back of the head. It's I've told y'all before, my man is a barber, so I get very, on a critique. He look a fool with that. On one side, he's giving Larry Blackman. On the other side, it's giving sprayed on head. Anyway, Dominique like it. So when her man walked in the door, it was just like so easily. Nothing was forced. It was like, honey, I'm home. And he came in and she touched the side of his face. It was all very romantical. I was caught all up in it. I'm here for it, Dominique girl, if you love this man already. She didn't say that. I'm exaggerating. But what she did do is cook his favorite dish. So she did some oxtails and things for the man. He said, he's an oxtail connoisseur. That's what he said over there out in the car cam. And, Chris was eating it cold. So Chris, you was eating cold oxtails? How did that happen? Anyway, child, Christina says, me and Dominique, we seem to have the same men in common. Girl, I don't think you do. I mean, I think in your head you do. Listen, it's a competition. You know what I'm saying? And so you need to focus on, it's a competition. It's a game. We know how I feel about this. If you're new here, this is how I feel about the situation. I don't care about the love part. I just want to see who the connections are, how these things worked out, because it's just not realistic for me. I get much more entertained by the game of it all. Christina Ina came up here in Dominique's house, not prepared for the game. I don't think this is the game you want, Christina Ina. I'm just saying, because what Dominique is over here doing is what Dominique does. And she's focused on herself and she don't really care about what you got going on over there, which let me keep going. Yeah, they have the same interests. She should just focus on Chris, because I don't feel like Dominique have no interest in Chris. And every time the man walks in the room, she wants to sniff on him. Like, I don't know what kind of cologne he's wearing, but keep that to yourself, because you can't have people walking around sniffing up all on you all the time. Anyway, they have a little conversation. Christina Ina talks about how, maybe she was a little heavier as a child, and, how people would call her pudgy and pig, and kids are mean. You know what I'm saying? And that's unfortunate. I feel like probably one of the best things about homeschooling is being able to avoid that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you involve your kids with things like, if they're an athlete, they come cut for a different kind of cloth. You know what I'm saying? And so they're in for all of that, back and forth and smack talking. But when you're talking about, being teased as a kid, girls and boys, because Chris said he kind of went through it a little bit. He said he had a gap. I feel like, as a kid, we come in this world really cute. And then we start feeling ourselves growing into our person. And sometimes adjustments need to be made. I wore braces. I feel like my confidence level has changed. Not has changed. It was like many years ago, but I was an adult. I was an adult when I got braces. So it definitely, like, as much as how you smile, and your smile says a lot about how you interact with people. So whatever she was when she was a little girl, she's a beautiful lady now, but she's still carrying them insecurities. And insecurities scare me because they come out nasty. You know what I'm saying? When you're insecure, like, your behavior can be toxic. I'll put it like that. Devin and Dominique are in the kitchen. I don't know. Devin ain't got no types of self-esteem issues sitting up here in this pink velour shirt. He been down to the gym cup a few times, and whatever you're doing over there, Devin, stop. Now, I gave you a break because you did have one outfit, that kind of, I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, everybody's got their own sense of style, and it's not even his sense of style so much. It's like the delusion of it all, Devin. You over here looking at this lady talking about, I want you. Duh. What else you got? I feel like he is a very intelligent person. Well, I don't know what he's saying to her. I think he's letting her know that he's absolutely in love with her. And so, clock that, Dominique. You're gonna need these numbers. You need somebody in the ladies' lounge saying your name in a positive way. He will, and he will not be seen in public with me nowhere with no velour, pink, rose-colored child. Anyway, I'm like, come on, you're a smart man, and that's what you come over here and tell this lady you want her to do what, bruh? You tried to put your mouth on her over there on Misfit Island. And she was told you then, like, we haven't gone on a proper date yet. And you still haven't. You moved past the kiss to I want you. She was like, what do you want me for, child? I don't know about his Mac Daddy, but I'm not feeling it. Where does one go to find a men's extra large pink velour shirt? Can you drop the name of that store? Let me stop. They were sitting there talking, and he thanked her for letting him meet her mom. And she was like, on FaceTime. I mean, he implied that he met her mom. You didn't meet her mom. She was on FaceTime, and she said, when she's on FaceTime, you're liable to meet anybody because she's with her family, her mother, her father, her sister, her brother, her kids. When she's on FaceTime, she must be one of these people that talk on FaceTime. I hate it. Don't call me on FaceTime. I have a FaceTime list, and if you're not on it, then please do not proceed to video chat. So there. Anyway, she talks about her family, and he then says, that's why I want to have a lot of kids. I want a big family. And she, as she shared with us before, has had some challenges. But we know that once you're 35, they call you geriatric. So anything past that, that's going to become more and more difficult, to, carry a baby. And she's past 40. So there you go. The challenge is even more. Anyway, she said, out the blue, was that her or him? No, that was him. She was just saying, like, maybe that's not a thing. Maybe there won't be no children. Meanwhile, her and Bello are somewhere discussing how they're going to get a surrogate and have a boy. See what I'm saying, Devon? Like how the conversations are different. She was pretty much like, that's probably not going to happen. And he said, would you be open to adoption? And I say, bullshit. You're sitting here looking at this lady. She's your fantasy girl, like the kind you paste on the back of your bedroom door when you're 17, 16, 14. You know what I'm saying? And now you have her here in real life. And that's not it. Talking about, I want you. Nigga, sorry. It's like you're dreaming. Wake up. This lady don't like you like that, like that. And I don't think that most men are interested in adopting. I feel like that is the thing. Most men. I'm not saying all. Maybe there's some out there, but I feel like men mostly want to spread their seed wherever they can spread it at. So they can boast and brag about their offspring. And women desire motherhood. So that's why women who are not able to have children desire children, because they want to experience motherhood. That's why they want to be somewhere adopting a little baby. Little babies are very nice because I have one in the other room. And as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to go smell her and sniff her and the things that you do when you have a little baby. However, Dominique is not somebody that doesn't have children. I think she's got 3 grown daughters. Like, she probably likes hanging out with them. So people are like, is this your sister? I feel like she's in a whole nother phase of life. But while she's got you sitting here thinking, showing off your muscles and things for this lady, she's, running it. Like I said, I don't think she has any desire. Now, Bello over here, she likes. If you like somebody, she might be like, dear Lord, let me go ahead and figure out how I can have one more baby for this man. Conversation's different. She feels differently. That's all I'm saying. Um, I don't know. I guess I like I said, I just feel like it's different. Um, Bello. Bello got cut up. He said both of his connections was here and he felt like he was on the spot or whatever. He said, yeah, I feel like that would be awkward. Like he's not doing anything wrong. He's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, spreading it around and getting to know these people. And this lady, Christina, like I said, Christina, Ina thinks that Dominique is somehow her competition because they like the same men. Girl, I guess. Anyway, and I mean, that's going to happen. You're not friends with any of these ladies, so may the best woman win. Hope you know how to make oxtails. She's not trying to do anything. She's asking for things. So she confronted Bello in the kitchen about, she sent out text to her connections. She says she needed a massage. She needed $300. You be out here asking strangers like these that you just met for money, like that game. First of all, it ended years ago, girl. You was probably not even really, you were a small child back here when the girls was getting it like that. However, I feel like the girls that know how to get it like that, they don't go about it the way you did it. But I mean, if that's working for you, girl, keep doing it. It didn't work this time. Seems as though she texted Chris, and Chris said, I ain't gonna be able to do that. And I'm not mad at him. Like, that was the nicest and most honest way to do it because, girl, I just met you. And I'm not saying I can't afford a $300 massage, but until like we get there, and now that you're begging for it, I feel like every last one of them viewed her as, no, we ain't playing them types of games. Chris is a chef who's worked very hard to get to where, he is in terms of, he said he's worked his ass off. He's at a point in his life where he can settle down and have something serious. Ain't nobody working hard to be giving you $300 massages. If you can't go get your own massage, run down to the Hand and Stone and something and get one of those $90 ones. Girl, you fancy. I'm only allowed to spend my time in VIP areas. I can't be around the common people. You sound like you're full of shit. Like the more you talk, the more I don't believe. Mr. Rose-colored velour t-shirt over here gave her $180 because it sounds like tricking. Is she like another one of your fantasy girl types? Why would you do that? In hopes to getting lucky? I haven't even seen Devon and Christina Ina have no conversation. Devon, that was whack. So you think Miss Dominique is gonna be over here entertaining you while you sending coins over here to Christina Ina with the lame game? Stop it. Bello didn't even bother texting back. I don't blame him. So she's confronting him because he didn't even follow up. Chris, I ain't got it. Sorry about it. Have a nice day. Devon, I got half. So here you go. What you do with his money, girl? Did you go get a massage or not? Because you're over here confronting this man about not returning your call. He said, you said you wanted a massage in the morning. By the time I got the message, it was 3:00 in the afternoon. So she said, you don't think I can get a massage in the evening? What were you waiting on? Somebody to give you the other half? What do you do, girl? You don't have $300? Like, it feels like such a luxurious thing to be asking for. Frivolously, you know what I'm saying? I need a massage. I'm going to go for the $300 one. And trust me, I know if you gone down to, what is it, the Four Seasons or something, I'm just saying, if that's not in your budget, girl, and I don't see anything wrong with the guy you're dating that can afford to doing something like that, but I'm pretty sure we just been here a few days. So there's that. Didn't work on Bello. I don't blame him. I'm wondering like what the heck is going on with Devon that he would even let her, have what you do with his money, girl. You just put it in an envelope somewhere, still in your cash app, waiting on the other half. I don't know. I feel like if you're that girl and you want a $300 massage, you go ahead and have it taken care of. That's all I'm saying. Girl. Devon getting around, considering. I think he might be everybody's third option because he's easy. You know what I'm saying? So if you have Devon on your list, at least you know you get a vote, and we'll worry about picking some of these things off and seeing how many people are still around in a couple few weeks. But Devon is good for tricking. Got it. Nicole, he's a trick. Don't waste time. She's brought him over here to this baseball dugout thing so they can swing bats at each other, and not at each other, but at balls. And they're both terrible at it. Tommy said, "Bring the people to your favorite place." You just pick some random place to go bring him to. Listen, they were there for the conversation. It was a cute enough date. This is what I don't like. Nicole, you've been pining away Ed. You've been pining away for Ed since college. You've had this humongous crush on him. And now you're over here saying that you and this man, Devon, been talking every night. So you laid up somewhere giggling and y'all seem to have conversation that's very good. Look how he's looking at her. Although he walked in the door talking about first thing out of his mouth, Dominique is my boo. She's not. She's not. You have somebody, actually the conversation is good. Even though y'all don't play, baseball or whatever, it is fun to go out there and be silly together. They had a good time playing the baseball thing. They sat down, had a good conversation. She's beautiful, like in the same way the other lady is. I feel like she could pay for her own massage. I don't like it. I don't like that he's walking in here talking about Dominique. This lady seems very nice. According to Ed, she is. According to Ed, she's everything he says she was. He got messed up trying to chase after fantasy girl who ain't even interested in him like that. He said he's looking for a smart, kind woman that's not self-centered. And I'm like, seems like her. Like I said, that's what Ed said. Like he's somebody that knew her from way back when. Even back then, she was a nice girl. And I feel like she deserves somebody that looks at her as their dream girl. This dude is over here pining over Dominique, who really don't want him, reaching way out of his league and giving half of the here go half of it. If I'm asking you for a massage, Devon, how am I going to get one if I only got half the money? I said I needed $300. Anyway, they had a nice conversation. So I'm not understanding, what the confusion is with him. I like this, except for I don't. Like, I feel like he's playing. I feel like this would be his right speed. They have so much in common with him being the university, and it just seemed like a good match. Like if he was focused on what are you here for, Devon? Smashing, talking about, and I didn't hear him either talk to this lady like that. Like he not over there telling her like how I want you and trying to kiss her. So who are you trying to play? Not Dominique. I know you ain't. Anyway. There was another little group date. Where are the people at? Here they are. Everybody went over to Shannon's house. Who was over there? It was Ed and Darius and Xavier and who else? Donna. Donna was there too. So Shannon requested that everybody bring something special, which was kind of cool, actually. Darius was there too, but I don't need a picture of everybody. They all bought some sentimental type of thing, which I thought was a cool idea because you get below the surface a little bit and get to know people. And these people, for some reason, as a friend group, seem pretty equally yoked to me in terms of finding someone. I don't know that there's anybody that's there for Darius necessarily. They all like Shannon. So if she could work the room, girl, do the doggone thing. There's no commitments here. You could go ahead and get to know all of them. So a lot of them like Shannon. I feel like Shannon's name is at the top of a lot of lists. And these ladies, like, look at the pearls and things. They all have a common kind of personality. Anyway, what happened over here? Ed and Shannon were very physically close to each other. Um, One thing I will say, Darius, as far as the things that people brought, he brought this dress that he said his mother made for his oldest daughter. So he keeps this dress that's 20 years old. And his mother made it, he said, and she's the one that taught him how to sew and got him interested in the fashion industry. And he got emotional talking about his mother, which I get it. And then sometimes those things hit you, you don't expect them to. Like, I'm sure he never expected to get up there and cry, but for whatever reason, like, it made him emotional. And everybody connected to that. Even Donna was like, I see him in a different light. Yeah, you got to get to know people. Like, I don't know what kind of math he was using. You look at his, like I said, she said, he wasn't being authentic. And I was like, I think he very much is. Like, that character that you see is Darius. That's who he is. But, she got to see a different side of him. I really did like this game or activity because it not just between the couples, but it got all of them, gave them all the opportunity to kind of get to know each other a little bit better. And they all live in Detroit. So all these connections are important, not just the ones that are supposed to be about love. All the connections are important. Donna has a conversation with Xavier. I'm really questioning why he's here. Xavier ain't even called anybody yet. And when she asked him, like, has this process helped him kind of change his process in terms of getting to know people, he said no, he ain't about to change nothing. So then I guess you go be by yourself until you find some woman that's sitting right around waiting on you to warm up. I've been hearing this term slow burn, slow burn, slow burn, slow burn. I get a slow burn, but that's kind of not how chemistry works. I don't think you should resist it. I think you should lean into it and see what's up. If it's not, for you, then you can back off of it a little bit. But anybody's sitting around waiting for you to slowly burn, child. You done burn out. Burn on to the next thing. Ed and Shannon, they have a lot in common. They, like I said, have a lot of physical energy. He's touching her and she likes it. So, it's not like Devon over here trying to lean in and put his mouth on people. They have kind of a very friendly energy between each other. She's smiling at him. He's smiling at her. This connection is, This connection, I feel like, is more than what he got with Nicole. I don't think he's feeling Nicole like that. And unfortunately for Nicole, I don't know what's going on with her. I feel like she might be going home soon because I'll be forgetting about her. She had a full-on date and I still be forgetting, about Nicole. And she seems very nice. She says she's a good girl. It's coming across that way. That's not a bad thing. It's just that, and I'm sure she has a personality. It's just there's bigger personalities over here, I guess. She comes across to me, and maybe it's the pageant thing, just a tad bit rehearsed. Like she's saying all the right things. Donna, can we get a math sheet? Can we pull up a report on Nicole? See what's going on with her numbers? I'm thrown off a little bit. I'm just thrown off a little bit. Thank you. Anyway. There's physical attraction going on with Ed, and she said Ed makes her feel protected. And I was like, why? Because he's a boxer? Okay, be careful. Because I feel like Ed know how to get to business. So be careful, girl. Anyway, Ashanti, Lauren, Cardi, and Vince. This was Ashanti's date. And, since she's a vegan chef, she invited these guys over here to cook. Playboy Cardi. Oh, he's not Playboy Cardi. He's the Cardi experience. The ladies like him. And like I said, he's decent looking. He's just so rough and raggedy. It just bothers me a lot. I just don't like that orange hair. And Lauren is so lovely and poised, and maybe sizing him up about doing something with that hair. Anyway, she loved the conversation. Everybody that sits down with Cardi received the Cardi experience. I don't know what he was going through in the first episode. Maybe, like I said, it was the cameras and all of that. He's not pretentious. He shows up as himself. I know Lauren does all the things. It's all access. It's, but I do know that she has something to do with real estate. I don't know, in real estate, insurance, these businesses, careers kind of like intermesh a little bit. So I feel like I could see them having good, intelligent conversation, business, and if they want to look at each other and smile and stuff, they're good looking people. I could see it. I just don't. I feel like they'll be great friends. That's all. I think this guy is a adventurous on top of being, the insurance broker or whatever. He's also a thrill seeker. He said he wants to jump out of planes at some point. Lauren, you might want to jump out of a plane too. She doesn't give staunch and I don't want to do anything. She's got kids. Her kids are older. He's got a little girl, I believe. So when you're a mom and you've raised your child, I won't say by herself, but she's a single mom now. Obviously, she wouldn't be here. But I personally was not comfortable dating people who didn't have kids of their own, unless I was planning on, having some more. But still, you want, when I was planning on having some more, that wasn't a thing. But when I decided I didn't want to have any more kids, I didn't want to be with somebody who didn't have kids, because I wanted to be with somebody who knew how to love a child, like in a real way. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me. I don't know what's going on here, but she says she like it. So Cardi, keep doing whatever you're doing. Keep doing it, because all the ladies like it. And then there's Vince. Can somebody call Emily, have her come back over here, cuss this man out? Now, I gave Emily a hard time because when she got out that car, she was like, I'm going in here, but I might have to cuss his ass out. And we were like, what happened? Well, now we're seeing this is how he behaves. First of all, when they started cooking and the lady said, if you pick up the knife, say sharp, meaning somebody won't turn around into the knife and get cut. Stupid ass. He's just keep on screaming, sharp, 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 like you're a grown ass man. How old are you? His humor ain't funny. I don't know who likes it, but now I'm seeing what they're talking about. He sat down with Ashanti and what was his question? He asked her, what can I work on? You sit here and you want to ask the lady, and he did the same thing with Emily. He asked her, what advice do you have for me? And then he kind of didn't like it. And you don't have to like it, but you asked for it. So he asked her, what can he work on? And she brings up a prior conversation about finance. I guess when they were over at skating or whatever, the whole 50-50 conversation came up, which I don't understand that conversation really. Like, unless you're marrying some man like that's wealthy and doesn't, no worries, I'm a millionaire and whatever you want to do, you got it. That's not the norm. Most of us are out here working. I know over here we take care of it. However, it needs to get taken care of. And nobody over here, like, obviously both people contributing to the household, but there's not this like 50-50 attitude. We got it together as partners. He said he got $150,000. Now, if you can live off that lifestyle, you're fine. If you need more, then you're going to have to contribute. I don't see anything wrong with that, because in this world, 150,000 ain't a whole lot. It's enough to sustain a little, a girlfriend. He got kids. You got to put it in perspective. He's got one going off to college, one that's a teenager. They're expensive. It's him and 150,000. So if you want a particular kind of lifestyle, you're going to have to come to the table with something. But I feel like you should be coming to the table with something anyway. Being kept, soft life, all that stuff is only going to get you somewhere stuck. stuck with no freedom whatsoever. You got to ask permission to take a shit. Sorry. Anyway, he didn't like he didn't like that she brought that up. Like he sat there and explained what I just said to her, but he did it in such a way like I'm not sure. I think she just wanted to get a better understanding. You know what I'm saying? As to what that conversation, what does that look like? What does finances look like? But he came off irritated. Like, do you understand me now? Do I need to say it again? His response was just so rude. Like, maybe I'm just trying to get clarity on what you said. She didn't say anything was good or bad about it. She just asked about it, but he got all in his feelings because, 150 only goes so far. I think that's a decent living, but like I said, it's perspective. Like what is your bills versus your income? And how much, can another person, and in the real world, as a woman, you should not walk into any situation looking for somebody to take care of you. Christina Ina. She just kind of slipped on in there. Ed and Ashley have a date. So Ashley has a dog. She wants to go to the dog park. That's the day. Ashley looks a freaking amazing. She just got on a tracksuit and look at her. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't see a connection here. I think that Ed thinks Ashley is beautiful because we, got eyes and we can see. I don't know that there's a connection there. She said he's her physical type because he's fine. So that doesn't surprise me. But she wants to see if they're have any type of other compatibility, I guess. And so for me, it was her showing interest in him. I don't know how it was cut, and I'm sure, we know how production does, but it didn't seem like he was doing a whole lot of trying to find out about her. It was her trying to find out about him. We found out that he married his high school sweetheart and that they're in a good co-parenting situation. That's amazing. Like, I guess for sure that's what you want to hear. If you're dating someone who, is divorced and has children, you want to make sure that relationship is in a good place, because don't nobody want to come in here, with baby mama drama and baby daddy drama and all of that kind of foolishness. So, he seems like a healthy situation. You know what I'm saying? She says she tried to express to him that she liked him a few times, but he's not really reciprocating. Like, she would like a good morning text and things. That's not something I want to be telling somebody, Ashley. And much like what's her name, Nicole, you want to be the number one choice. That's it. You just want somebody that she said, like, I like somebody that likes me. Well, if that's the case, like, there's a back and forth. Like, I didn't hear not one thing about Ashley. I didn't hear not one question from him about her. It was all her trying to find out about him. And he was answering, but not in a way, not in a way that made me feel like he was interested. I think he's just really more interested in Shannon. And, she probably falls into a certain type. It felt like he got a type, and it's Michelle Obama and Felicia Rashad, Claire Huxtable. I feel like that's, the type he got in his head. Yeah, don't waste your time. If he's not following up, like, don't press it, because that ain't what you want. Let him put in some work. You said what you got to say. Now fall back. Let him see what he gonna do, because he was over there. Honestly, I felt like he had more chemistry with Donna. He just got thrown off when she brought up when they found out that they weren't spiritually aligned. But he was definitely interested. I don't even know how he felt about going to the dog park, but Ashley came out the gate saying, you need some money to date me. And, she's in the beauty industry, and not just like, hairstylist. She's in the very, like, high end services for a particular type of person, woman who can afford these things. She got the kind of services that Christina Ina is over there trying to get somebody to pay for. Anyway, and not for nothing. Like you could come spend a day with me and get a chemical services, whether it's keratin or hair coloring services. And if it's not the very basic like haircut or hair coloring service, you probably walk dropping about 400. I'm just saying. So, but some of her services are people get their hair done because they have to look a certain type of way at work. When you start adding on things like the services that she's talking about, that's a luxury service. It's a certain type of woman. That's all I'm saying. I'm rambling. Anyway, I just feel like this is not a match. And she should let that be because he's not putting in the type of energy that I feel like she deserves to have. That's not anything against him. She's just not his type. I don't think he's got a certain type. She probably should, honestly. Darius is giving her all the energy that she said she wanted. Just don't let him suck your toes because we just met. Um, Ashante and Steven didn't see this coming, but I like it a lot. I like it a lot. And I'll tell you why. Because first of all, they're connecting over artistry, which tugged at my heartstrings a little bit. Steven has his own kind of different style, and it's in a good way. He's an artist and a teacher and certain type of individual. I think this is a mesh right here. It just took them getting in the room together, I think. Um, Bonding over being creative it's cool. Um, Steven said Ashanti reminds him of home. And home Flint, yep. Have to shout out Flint. He said she reminds him of home, like some of the girls that you know, I don't know. I don't know that Detroit is like it's not that far away from home. I don't know the Detroit girls and Flint girls are that different. Maybe just a little bit, but because Detroit, it's a bigger city, so I get that part. But comfortable. He loves her personality. I don't know that it had anything to do so much with what you see on the outside. It's just she is giving off very much down to earth. She's not giving off bougie. She's a pretty girl that likes nice things, but it's not giving you. Can you can you send me $300 to go get an expensive massage today? It's not giving that. Their personalities matched. There was a lot of smiling and laughing and something he said. I appreciated the conversation. She asked him what was he looking for, and he said he's looking for a wife, but he wants his wife to be passionate about something, not just being a mother and taking care of kids and stuff. And I like that. And she said that she wants to have her kids experience things as through travel as a way of education. And I was like, I like it. I don't know, something about it. I'm hoping these two give me something, because it's kind of a slow burn, but not so slow that I ain't calling each other. Now he did take the time to get her number. I feel like I did see, on the digital, when they had the little digital exclusive, he went on a date with Lauren too. And to be honest, I thought that date was kind of cute. I just don't know the connection is the same as what I see here. I think it's just because they're both creatives and they kind of in a way, using your hands, and I was here for it. I want to see more of it. She left out of here talking about she ready to go ahead on another date. So, Steven, this lady likes you. And yeah, you got her number. And I didn't hear her asking him to make sure you text me good morning. Does that make a big deal to you, the good morning text? I like the good morning text. But I needed to follow up with certain types of behaviors. Don't just be calling me talking about good morning, grand rising and stuff. I don't like that. Don't create no habits with me that you're not gonna follow through on. So, well, down to the ladies' lounge, we got a little spicy. And the ladies are going over like who their tops and who's your, Ashanti. We said she went on a date with Steven. She liked him and she liked Cardi too. Cardi he getting a lot of points. Cardi stay on the top of the list. Nicole, obviously, she's into Devon. Sorry, Nicole. I told you I'd be forgetting. She was there. She likes Devon. She talks to him every day. I wonder, I wonder how she felt when she heard that Devon sent this lady some money for a massage she didn't intend to get. Shannon likes Ed. And yeah, like I said, I would say Ashanti, Shannon, and Dominique. I can see their connections. The other ladies, Ashley. Ashley said Darius. I don't know if that's for real or not. And Donna, I don't think Donna's got any connections over here. So, girl, I don't know, girl. Dominique, of course, like I said, Bello is her man. Um, Ashley said Ed, girl. I don't know why you got Ed on your list because after that day, I don't see it. Darius is your connection over here. So then Vince, they got to start talking about the people on the bottom, and Vince's name came up. And then Christina Ina decided to tell this story about how she was having pillow talk. Whose pillows? Not Bello's pillow. You wasn't on no Bello's pillow. So, and after you asked him for money, he definitely out of his mouth said you went down on his list. So she said she was pillow talking, and somebody said that Vince was over here calling somebody a bitch. And Lauren was like, well, I mean, are we sure? Because did he say that to you or you heard it through somebody? And the other girls was like, I heard it too. Dominique and Ashley. The three, Shantae, Shannon, and Donna, I don't think they were in on the conversation, but Christina, Ina, Ashley, and Dominique have discussed how Vince has called Lauren a bitch. And Dominique told her he was talking about you. He referred to her as the tall bitch. This is all hearsay. None of the people have heard him actually say this. This is according to whoever Christina Ina was on the phone with. Now, let me start with Chris. Chris, I owe you an apology because I was over in the Facebook group, and you could be careful going over there to the Facebook group. But I was at the Facebook group and somebody asked, who did they think said it? And I said, Chris. And he said he was offended. He should be. I apologize. I'm sorry. It wasn't you. However, Chris, was you over there pillow talking with Christina Ina, or was it Devon? Which one of y'all? I'm not accusing Chris of anything else because I'm not going to double accuse this man of doing something that he may or may not have done. All I know is either Chris or Devon. I don't think it was Bella, or I don't know who else this lady got on the phone with her, but one of them told her that what's his man Vince called somebody a bitch, the tall bitch. And boy, Lauren was sure shocked to find out that she was the bitch. Because she was over there trying to say, are we sure he said that? He said it, girl. He did say it. And it sounds bad. However, I don't think he said it in a way like how Christina Ina was trying to make it sound like he called her a bitch. Like, that girl's a bitch. That's not what happened. He said the tall bitch. And it sounds terrible, and he shouldn't have said that, but he was just being a douchebag, I guess, talking amongst the fellas. So don't guess they don't like you then. Do Christina Ina be talking to Darius? Because we seen Darius having a little thing with Vince. We don't know who said it. I don't know who said it, but somebody said it, and they did not say it to her. But she felt like she needed to come over here to the ladies' lounge and tell everybody. And well, that didn't pan out so well for That didn't pan out so well for Vince because the ladies voted him out. Um, Christina Ina also, she shared that it was Devon that was tricking and paying her. Like she said that in front of all the ladies, like that Devon was the one that sent her $180 for her $300 massage. So, like I said, Dominique and Nicole, but Nicole talked to Devin every day. Every day she's talking to Devin, and he's sending coins over here to Christina. So I'll be interested to see how she feels about that. They said that Xavier be over here acting old, and he's not actually putting any effort to get to know anyone. He's not texting anybody or anything. So these is the bottom two: the Xavier and Vince. Who should stay and who should go? I know who I think should go. I saw Darius's interview over on Access Lounge with Lauren and Ed, and he's actually very pleasant. That he was a pleasant person, but they were calling him, they said he was that he acts old. I don't know if it's old or it's just he's just a little stiff. And he has such a specific way of carrying himself, and he needs a specific thing. So I just think his match obviously wasn't over here. Donna confronted this man. She said the lady said you was over here calling somebody a bitch, and he said he was joking around with the guys, and that he admits that he needs to work on that because he has a daughter. And that's the reason why I didn't consider him. He would have been my second choice, but clearly I was wrong. Because he has a daughter. And I just felt like, I don't know what I was thinking. You don't know who said what. I still don't know who said it. So, I don't know who told it. But he said, yeah, he feels like he needs to change that. And that's something that he needs to work on. And then she let him know that the women think you're a little bit opinionated, like how you say things. And he said, and I am who I am. He had the very same answer that Emily had. I am who I am. So if you can't accept me for who I am, then you need to get gone. So him calling Lauren a bitch or saying bitch wasn't enough for them to send him home because, somebody might like him. Somebody might be using him as a placeholder on their list. And so strategically, it just might have made better sense to send Xavier home since he wasn't calling nobody no way. And I get it. Like, I think nobody is really trying to have Vince around anyway. But right now, I feel like he's around for strategy purposes. And Xavier, if you're not going to call anybody, then what's the point of being here? Like, this isn't... I felt like it was too early. You should have left at least with one number at the one of the mixers. You didn't even go to the Misfit Island. Did he go to Misfit Island? Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You barely made it past Richie. Anyway, he met up over here with Dominique, and he tried to explain to her that it's a certain type of woman, and that should be, paid attention to in terms of where he's going to be spending his energy on. And if it ain't somebody that he feels like is his caliber and that, is on his same level, he's not going to entertain it. And he feels like, it's a fast process. But now at this point in the game, he feels like he's ready to go ahead and, start engaging with these ladies. And Dominique is like, and you're absolutely late to the party. There's no reason for you to be getting anybody's number now because women have decided that you're not ready to love. So that's how that went this past week. Whew. I loved it. It was a good episode. I'm definitely in. What's next week? Next week is a 70s party, I believe. So I'm guessing the men will be in control. We don't know. We won't know until we get down to the speakeasy, though. Anyway, y'all, yeah. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will be for sure Sunday. Let me cross my fingers the way my life ain't going. Sunday, we be back on 7 o'clock. Ready to love. Bye, y'all.